Hey everyone, another DCS patch recently released and we saw a new feature added to the JF-17. We can now show two different colored lines on the HSD to mark airspace. These can be drawn in the mission editor with F10 map markers or created via a custom Lua file. The Lua file example can be found in your mods, aircraft, JF-17 docs folder and has a step-by-step on how to do that. So today we are going to focus on how to do it in the mission editor and with map markers. First, let's look how to do this in the mission editor. We need to draw line segments on the map and give them the appropriate name. There are 6 different lines available in the mission editor. We have 2 for blue, 2 for neutral, and 2 for red. The blues will be named BKYA and BKYB, the red RKYA and RKYB, and the neutral NKYA and NKYB. The first letter of the name is a coalition, where we have R and B, and the last letter is the color where A is purple and B is cyan. And I have no idea what KY stands for. First, let's draw the lines for the red JF-17 and give them their proper names. These must be drawn with line segments and can have up to 10 points. Also, the color of the line in the mission editor does not matter. They will be assigned a color based on their name. We'll name the first line RKYA and the second line RKYB. Now let's add lines in for the blue JF-17. Again, we make sure to give them the proper name or they will not work. Our first line is going to be BKYA and our second line will be BKYB. We have a new option in the configuration window that will choose where we get our lines from. For now, we want to get them from the mission data, so we will select that. Now we need to do a DTC update and load the data. Once the load is complete, you should see our 2 lines appear on the HSD. Now let's jump over to the blue JF-17 and make sure those are working as well. While we are here, we will also look into setting them up via the map. First, let's verify the mission lines are working that we set up in the mission editor. We'll do another DTC update and load, and we should see our lines on the HSD. And there we go. Now let's clear these lines, and then we'll set up new lines with map markers. To clear any lines, we go into the configuration window and select clean from the airspace dropdown. Another DTC update and load, and the lines will be removed. Now let's set the configuration airspace to F10 label. We can now go to the map and place map markers down to designate points in our line. Much like the mission editor, you can only have 10 points and these must be named JKYA1 through 10 or JKYB1 through 10. If you do not get the names right or skip a number, it will result in the line not appearing on the HSD. I'll demonstrate that with our second line. But for our first line, let's go ahead and just place 4 points and name them JKYA1, 2, 3, and 4. For the second line, we'll place 3 points labeled JKYB1, 2, and 3. In this case, I did not put the number 1 on the first one to demonstrate what happens if you make an error in your label name. Back in the jet, we need to do another DTC update and load, and now you can see that only one of our lines has loaded. And that is due to the error in our second line. You may also notice that these lines connected to form a closed segment instead of a line. It seems this will always happen when you create the lines with F10 labels, so just keep that in mind when you're making your lines. Now let's quickly fix our missing line. We don't need to recreate all the points to fix this. All we need to do in this case is fix the first label by adding the 1 to the end of our current label. Another update and load, and our second line is now working. And that's it. It's always nice to see new features added to existing modules, and this one can be quite helpful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.